Whenever Kenshin first debuted, I was very much like, I don't really like him. His kit just seems like he's not really all that. And he doesn't seem like the thing that Monolight needs. But the thing is that he was the thing that everyone needed. And this video is kind of part of a bigger video that I will be doing later on, talking about like how much has changed since Grand Crusade has been introduced, especially when it comes to the metagame. A lot of characters that I thought originally were insanely strong now are kind of underperforming, and some characters that I thought were maybe a little bit weak are now really good in this new game mode. Kinchin being one of those units. And by the way, everything I'm talking about for Kinchin is assuming that we are on floor 50 or above in Grand Crusade. So Kinchin on his own, if you look at him, you may be like, he's got some solid stuff going. You got art gauge, you got attack buffs, you have crit rate, and we have the massive passive that's giving us DR, plus also giving us a duration on that. In most other pieces of content in the game that are considered long-form content, this DR buff may not last as long as you would want it to. If you fulfill all the conditions, at the max duration, you are only letting this DR last for 120 seconds. In Grand Crusade, once you hit level 50 and above, enemies start hitting hard. Like, I'm getting clapped up by freaking Ice Switch Celia. Look at this. Look, this is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. I am getting clapped. And one of the strongest things that you can have for this game mode is having that start of quest, start of battle, start of turn, if you even want to refer to it as that, some type of DR/barrier. The fact that you can come in with Kinchin and drop him onto the field, and by default, if you have just him along with 4 other light allies, you are getting 40% DR for 30 seconds. That is going to save you so much. Which means, unironically now, Kinchin may be one of the characters that you really want to get if you want to do insanely well in Grand Crusade. I know some people just gloss over Grand Crusade after they played it and like, oh, this thing is whatever. I'm telling you guys, the in-game players, we all for it. Not only do I think that Kinchin may be worth it, I've been looking at another character that has came out and kind of flew under my radar a little bit. But if you don't have someone like Shiro Emiya, this could be a very strong team to take through Grand Battle, which is actually using Kinchin alongside Maset. Maset is a light human. You guys see where I'm going with this? Maset's light human, she buffs up physical damage, physical equip CTs, she's able to stack DR onto the enemy, she has a heal slot here. Here's the thing too though, for the first 100 seconds of a quest, you have a 30k barrier. 30k barrier on top of an instant DR buff from Kinchin. You guys see what I'm talking about here? You know, I got my hands up. I think I'm cooking just a little bit. Maset, Kinchin, BF Emperor, Star God Lisa, do you see the vision? Do you see what I'm seeing? Not to mention, I just wanted an excuse to use Maset whenever she comes out later on, since I love her super hard. You just call this huge freaking ship and it's just boom. One big thing to this entire ordeal will be people saying, hey, OP, but you're on a time limit. I'm going to be honest with you. If it runs out, skill issue. In most fights in Grand Battle, when it comes to mini bosses and even regular bosses, they usually are not lasting longer than 2 minutes. Nothing is lasting longer than 2 minutes, usually resulting in either you killing the other team instantaneously or they're killing you instantaneously. So in most cases, even the boss fights, you are not in there for longer than like a minute 45. People that are higher in Grand Battle than even me right now, I'm not that high. I'm like, what, 56, I think, 59, somewhere in there. You know I'm speaking the truth. I'm preaching to the choir right now. We get one-shotted left and right, and people are asking us for our teams, and we're living on a prayer half the time. My friend Brian is on floor 95. He told me whenever I asked him, hey, how long do encounters usually last? For him, encounters are about 5 seconds, and bosses depend on what he's fighting. The longest he's ever had a boss fight go on for was whenever he fought Vows and Death, which almost lasted for 2 minutes, since he messed up. When he messed up on floor 95, it lasted almost 2 minutes. But everything beyond that never got beyond this point. Which means Kinchin has free reign most of the time when it comes to Grand Crusade, especially if you level up his team. He's going to be devious in this game mode. Now, one thing we can check out too is that if we go look at the Grand Battle right now, and we're going to be looking at EX4 specifically since I haven't reached the point to where I can unlock EX5, this is where Kinchin may fall off just a little bit, but you also have to consider a lot of these teams may not be leveled up to the point to where they can clear it. This guy's clearing it within a minute 17 with the Delta Shadow Haruto Shiro comp. But then you have this other team which has Summer Chloe on it, which should allow them to deal maybe a bit more damage, especially Shadow and Shiro, and this one's clearing exactly at 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So that is something to take into account when we are considering the EX battles, that maybe not everybody's at like rank D yet, or rank C or B or whatever. So all in all, what I really want to get my point across is that the game is changing, the metagame at least, and it's possible that we could have a tier list come out in the future that is only pertaining to Grand Crusade, and then another tier list that is pertaining to specifically the entirety of everything else in Grand Summoners. Or it's possible that the tier list just overall changes, and the strongest characters in the game are characters that are insanely good in Grand Battle. You guys let me know down below what you all think about this stuff. Do you guys think Kenshin is going to be insane now in GB, or do you think that it's possible we're all crazy? Also, do you think I'm cooking with the Maset Kenshin comp? I think I am. I gotta try this when this eventually comes to global. Also, if there's any other character in the game currently that you guys think is actually so much better than what they were prior thanks to the introduction of Grand Crusade, let me know that type of stuff down below in the comment section. Thank you all again for hanging out, and last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.